So welcome everybody, and welcome Joe. Joe is one of my very first Akashic Reiki practitioners. And when Joe said yes to coming on this journey with me, I remember getting the message and I was like, oh my God, this will be amazing because Joe, I've known you a long time, right?
Yes, it's 2020.
2020, goodness me. I even remember how we met. And I've seen the journey that you've been on. And what's always struck me about you, Joe, is this you have this real understanding and passion about the links between the mind, the body, and the soul, and that you understand that these aspects aren't separate and that we can do some really incredible body work, and we can do some really incredible soul work, and we can do some really incredible mindset work, but actually it's when we bring it all together that the real changes start to take place. So when you said yes, I was like, oh, this modality can really will really move some, having your wisdom and guidance and experience in there because you've been doing it for a long time. So, for those that don't know, Joe is a sacrocranial therapist, a physiotherapist, a mindful movement practitioner, and a Reiki practitioner. And now, Joe is an Akashic Reiki practitioner. So, Joe, welcome here.
Hi.
Say hi to all my people. Hold on, wait. We've had a signal failure. I'm not having much luck with Facebook right now. Okay, we've got a signal failure. I'm hoping that it will come back at some point. If not, then I will just share this separately. Okay, and we'll edit this out. So Joe,
Hi.
hi. So you joined Akashic Reiki actually pretty quickly after I announced it. I would love to know first of all, like what was it? What drew you into saying yes and into joining?
Well, I think when I first met you, I had an Akashic Records session with you
Yeah.
um, when I was going through quite a tough time and had a really difficult sort of decision to make. Um, and just the power of that, I suppose, really got me interested in the Akashic Records
Hmm.
and what was going on.
Hmm.
Um, but at that point, I was using it sort of just for self healing
Yeah.
and didn't think any more of it, didn't have the urge to delve into the Akashic Records any further. Um, but sort of as you mentioned before, right from the start of my physio training, I knew that I wasn't just a physical practitioner.
Yeah.
And that's why I went into craniosacral therapy and then developed my sort of private practice, which is called Body, Mind and Soul Potential. Because when you work with the body, you're not just working with the physical structures. And the more I did the cranial, I became more aware of the emotions, the soul, um, and I think I work very intuitively and in a lot of depth. But I was feeling that there was something missing. And actually, I remembered the other day in November 2024, I actually said to one of my mentors, I want to be able to share my healing wider in a different way. I'm so used to doing hands on, but I feel there's more.
Yeah.
And I want to do distance healing, but I don't know how.
Okay.
And I put that out there.
Yeah.
Um, then, when you sort of advertised your event to your people that you'd worked with,
Yeah.
I just felt, well, maybe this is it. I wasn't really ready to do any more training. I wasn't needing any more training. But I thought, okay, I'll just go along and listen.
Yeah.
But I think you did a meditation within that event that it was just like a calling. I've got to do this. I didn't know how I'd be able to do it financially or time wise, but I just knew that there was going to be something in it for me and for Akashic Reiki. So that's how it started.
I love that. So after saying yes and you joined and you were hoping for this thing that to help you do distant healing or this something, but you weren't sure what, now we've come to the end of the level 1 and 2. Did you find it? Has it appeared, the thing
Yeah,
that you were looking for? And tell
yeah.
us about that. Tell us what it was.
And I think even more than that, I think the the level 1, which is all about yourself and working on yourself,
Mhm.
um, was just so powerful. I think although I had quite a different approach to other people, and I know about holding space for myself and others, the self-treatment was stronger than anything else that I'd experienced.
Okay.
I was shifting quickly in my beliefs. I was deepening, um, deepening my beliefs as well. And yeah, something just clicked. And then when we went on to the level 2 in the practitioner path, I just immediately felt that I could integrate it into what I was doing. It was part of me. The pillars, the principles were just embedding without any effort, because I feel as if it's part of who I am.
Wow. Wow.
And I just want to be able to share that now and take it further, and just see how much it can help people shift, because it's helped me shift.
Wow. What was that shift? If you could put into words that shift that you felt from before or after, is there a word or a sentence?
Um, I think the main thing is trust.
Mm.
That deep soul trust, the trust that the past matters, the present matters, and that's going to affect my future.
Yeah.
Working within the Akashic Field, it's just, I don't know how to really describe it. It's just something completely different, but was so familiar. It was as if I was remembering
Yeah.
as well as learning.
Wow.
It was already part of me, but I know there's more to come. But I think so. Trust is the word. It was trust in myself, trust in that this is the right path, and trust that I can actually make a difference and help other people.
Wow. That's big.
Mm.
Mm. And I watched your journey over, especially the level 1. Like for me, when I was watching you and as you were moving through the protocols and the teachings and this, because some of it's quite radical, like how we're changing the way that we're perceiving healing and how we're perceiving, how we're holding ourselves and our judgments and our past like mistakes and all of these things. And I watched you in real time kind of go through that battle almost of like, well, like this deconditioning or this programming just begin to change like moment by moment. And it was like, I think it was in about week 2 or 3. It was when I was in Glastonbury. So whenever that was, I think we had a conversation. I think you messaged me, and there was just suddenly this like softening of, oh, yeah, everything is meant to be as it is. Like this flame is working through me. And since then, you shared last night in the final call that whilst so if you don't know, if you're watching this, we've I asked for my practitioners to have it like to be completely quiet about Akashic Reiki and not utter the words Akashic Reiki to anybody until I'd made the announcement this week on my Facebook, which I know has been really challenging because we want to do all the things. But you shared last night that whilst you've been holding this and you really feel like it come and embodied in you, that during your sessions with your current clients, doing the work that you're currently doing, you've already started to sense a change in how they're responding.
Mm.
Do you want to talk a little on that?
Yeah, as I say, I've always sort of held a safe place for my clients.
Yes.
Whether it's clients that come to me sort of privately or where I work, and hopefully I can say Melissa has introduced a concept of infinity, the infinity loop. Mm-hmm. And it's just really helped me be with my clients in everything they're going through, but without getting involved. Holding that healing space without expectation of what may happen, which is hard for people. When people are coming for me for physio, they're expecting me to fix a problem. Well, I've never been a fix-it physio, ever. And that's why I've used a more holistic approach and do integrate other techniques sort of as and when I can. But even just holding that space and totally being with somebody, but also being separate and not involved, as I think deepened the relationship, deepened the respect, and just the integrity of the whole treatment, the whole sessions that I'm having with people. I think whether it's they can sense that and they're trusting me more. Yeah. And then I'm finding that it isn't just the knee problem or the neck pain. They're softening, they're getting more understanding of their bodies and realising actually they are responsible for their healing. Amazing. Rather than it coming to me expecting me to fix it. Yeah. And that's in a matter of weeks that this has changed.
Oh, I just got goosebumps. Oh, and I say this because and I don't think you can all see me on the screen, but I'm a bit like, because this was the point, for me, every time I worked in the records and as I was developing this and really, the integrity around it of wanting it to make those changes like you have just articulated, that it isn't about fixing a problem. And it's about evolution and growth, and it is about healing. And somebody comes with a knee problem, let's be honest, they want the knee fixing, that they want it to feel better. But the approach of, as we as practitioners are working in the field, is we have this access into the Akashic records, which are your soul's library, which contain everything, and including the understanding of not only what has caused this knee pain, but also what is the invitation around this knee pain, and then what is the healing and the growth that comes from it, right? So just your presence, before you've even laid a hand on, before you've even moved through one of the techniques, the attunement, the connection, if you like, in with the Akashic field through this infinity protocol that we work in and that we learn together in Akashic Reiki level 2, they're already softening, they're already finding that, because the truth for me is the Akashic records, when we tune into it, by default will begin to heal, will begin to make change. And so all we're doing is we're holding that presence where our clients can't, because they don't know how, or they get lost in their story.
And without them even realising, it's almost as soon as they step in the door, because I'm attuned, we have that immediate soul recognition. It's that connection at a deep level as I say, even if they're just coming for physio, and I haven't mentioned anything about Akashic Reiki.
Yeah.
But the people that I have done the Akashic Reiki on, within a very short period of time, they get that depth, that awareness. And I think the sense that actually they are more in control of their lives and what's going on because of that deeper understanding. And I think a lot of overwhelm, a lot of, and there's a lot of stress. There's, in the world at the moment, there's stress, there's chaos, and people are struggling.
Sure.
And especially with overwhelm. And when they realise that actually through the body, through listening to themselves, their body is telling them what needs to happen, what they need to do. As without it being a fix-it thing, or this is a problem, it's this is who I am, this is what's happening, but I can change, I can grow. And I'll be honest, I've done a handful of treatments, that's all, as practice, and seeing people change and what they gain from it has just been incredible.
Amazing. And this is part of and this is the thing, right? This is a brand new healing modality. Like, you're the first people, you're the first dozen, 11 actually, people that are working with this and practicing it and seeing it in real time. And we don't know the power. Like, when I received this as a lineage, as a healing modality, and started to put everything together, I had an inkling. I stripped apart everything that I knew worked from a psychotherapeutic lens, from a somatic lens, which I'd love to speak to you a little bit more about, and from an energetic lens. But the actual practical application, until it's with people, it's with, we don't know what's going to happen, which was one of the reasons why I only invited, people like you, people who had learnt with me in the past, to come and to trial it out and to see what's, to see what it's done. And, you've done a handful, but now what? That's what I want to ask you, Joe. So, like, now you have this healing modality, and you have your many years of craniosacral work and physio work and mindful movement work. How do you foresee it changing the way that you work, or what you offer, or what would you love to see happen?
I see myself, because now the approach is part of me. It's going to affect every client interaction wherever I'm working. But I do want to. I can see it expanding my business, expanding what I offer. Because at the moment, I say, most of my work is face-to-face, apart from my mindful movement sessions, which I do online.
Which are great, by the way.
I can see myself, working online and helping more people further afield, without thinking they've got to come and travel to Bath, where I am in the UK. It makes what I offer more accessible to people. And I don't know, I think it's just going to open up so many more opportunities because of the somatic involvement, with the psycho-spiritual. I can see myself being able to help people through the Akashic Reiki sessions, sort of enhancing it with Qigong, yoga movements that their body needs at that time. So rather than a standard exercise prescription or anything like that, but just really from what comes out in the sessions. Because especially we hold a lot in our gut, we hold a lot in our heart, in our throats, and there's so many sort of breathing exercises, Qigong and yoga, where you can open up, you can expand. So I can see that integration working well. And I would also like to work with people going through perimenopause and menopause,
Mm.
because I think this could be a really effective way, because it's something as women that we all go through, and we see it as a list of symptoms, a list of problems. And actually, through my experience over the last 3 months working with my body, it's really helped me integrate what's going on in my body, what's going on in my head, with what's going on with my soul journey.
Yeah.
So I can see it, yeah, opening up in lots of different ways. How logistically it's going to work, I'm not sure yet, but I'm just going to go with that.
Yeah, I see it. And it like something that's so important for me is the whole of Akashic Reiki was based, like the origin point was about evolution and growth. And I speak about this in it's on the website, but this concept of shuhari, right? That
Mm.
shu is about this learning, diligently learning, which I know
Mhm.
you've been doing for a long time, especially in the somatic world, right?
Yeah, especially with the craniosacral. I mean that, because it that does touch on everything that is going on with the body.
Mhm.
But with that, it was more about, when you get into the imagery and dialogue, it's a lot about rewriting. And I think this has made me realise that actually it's not always about rewriting. It's
Mm.
more about recoding
Oh,
and evolution.
Joe. Yes. Yeah. Oh my God. That's like the tagline. It's not about rewriting, it's about recoding. That's so strong. And I love that. And this actually is the second stage, is the ha.
Mm.
So shu ha ri. So ha is then like, okay, so I've learned diligently, which we've been doing over the last 12
Mm.
weeks. And now it's okay. So who am I in here? How do I embody this? And for every practitioner that comes through, it's the Akashic field is going to be working with you so that you can take what you already know and your experience and your expertise and then evolve that rather than tagging on Akashic Reiki
Mm. Mm.
into as another service.
Mm.
It's how does this evolve here now? It's the origin. And
Mm.
then re is about, well, now how do I transcend? What do I create? And I'm pretty sure that from the practitioners that come through Akashic Reiki, eventually there will be some, new
Mm.
processes and modalities and
But I
concepts.
do think at the moment, I do really need to embrace Akashic Reiki for what it is.
For sure.
And I think it will change the way that I offer it, because Akashic Reiki is not about one single session,
Mhm.
just coming once as a one off. I think it is more about growth, so I will be sort of offering more sort of packages rather than individual treatments.
Yeah.
And then, if within the Akashic Reiki it seems appropriate to integrate some of the other things that I've been doing,
Hmm.
so that's how I see it going,
Sure.
rather than me integrating the Akashic Reiki into this sort of the sessions that I'm currently doing.
Hmm.
It's almost going to, I think, be the reverse,
Okay.
and looking at, yeah, the way I offer things and what I offer.
Like you said, it changes the approach of, well, you've never been a fixer physio,
Mm.
and now you have the not only the what can I call it, like the centeredness around that, so that when somebody comes into the space and they're already now opening up into this field that is their evolution and growth, that
Mm.
contains the healing, contains the wisdom, and they might not be able to interpret it, they might not get the stories, but actually that's not the point of this.
No.
This is now, like, by default, as you're in this healing space that you're already in, the concepts of infinity, the concept of the love practices, the concept of grace, the concept of, recoding, like you
Mm.
said, will naturally come in and flow through. And it may be that during a qigong session or a heart opening, or a manipulation that happens in the physical body, that then something comes up which naturally leans into one of the
Mm.
many practices that come through Akashic Reiki. For me, it's important that the practitioners, take this and create from it. And we can't hurry. It's not like, oh yeah, I'm in stew, and then 2 weeks later, like it will
No.
evolve and it will grow, but it starts with this diligence of how am I learning? And then it comes into the mastery, which takes space and which takes time. And we've already been doing it for 3 months. There's been this evolution, and I've seen it, like I said, I've seen it happen in real time. But something I wanted to ask you, because I know you've done so much around the somatic and the body work. I think what surprised a lot of the practitioners was the amount of body work that's in Akashic Reiki, or that even that there is some somatic, psychosomatic work in there. So I just wondered how that landed with you, and what that brought to the table for you.
I think it was just reassuring to me that I was on the right path and doing the right thing. Because body work, just without me sort of throwing my ego out there, it comes naturally. It's what I do, it's what I love. And talking therapies have never really been for me, because to me there's something missing. Whereas if you can connect with someone, you can get a sense of what's going on in their body, you can ask them to place hands on their body, they can then feel what's happening.
Yeah.
It just makes it real, it makes it mindful.
Yeah.
And I think it helps people's body awareness and empowerment that actually they can do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just brings it all together.
Mm.
But I'm biased because, body work is where I come from.
Body work is, for me, when I did my psychotherapy training, it was the somatic work that for me personally it gave me the biggest breakthroughs through things that I'd been holding, that I'd been going through, and that I'd been trying to heal for a number of years. And I remember during my the bodywork module, body psychology module, that I healed something that I've been holding for a long time. And it was when I took that into the Akashic records, and I took that in through the lens of the records. And I'm just remembering something really interesting happening when I was doing my body psychotherapy module. And I was working with one of my colleagues in there. And what's so mad is she picked something up and it was in the Akashic records. I just remembered that. Anyway, they're not separate. Our body is our physical form that has been created through our energy and our energetics and our soul's library. And so when I was pulling apart everything that I've learned, the somatic work. So there's a little bit of breath work, there's a little bit of movement, there's a few, we won't go into all the techniques, but there's a few definitely like touch practices, movement practices, and embodiment practices that we bring through in Akashic Reiki, which I picked up on something you said, that you want to do more work distantly. And I wonder how Akashic Reiki can support you with your distant healing practice.
Well, again, I think because it's got that somatic element, because I'm still being me, I can still use my skills to help people. And on Zoom, you can, like we're doing now, you can still feel the energy, you can still have that connection.
Yeah.
But I think it's taught me that I can actually use the somatic skills at the same time. I don't have to have hands-on directly, because it's just working energetically. And I don't think there would have been, because I've done sort of the Reiki training, where I know in my first Reiki training there was distance healing, but I couldn't see a way of it working for me and my clients. Whereas with the Akashic Reiki, I can, and I will.
Yeah. it's where the world is moving to, and energy doesn't care whether
No.
you're in person or not. But in practice, which is true for, regular Reiki, but in practice, it just, whilst distance healing is very powerful, from the human experience, it can, I've always felt it's kind of like a little bit like, oh, well, it's better to have it in person, but if I can't, I'll do it distant. Like there's
Mm,
almost
mm,
been this thing
mm,
because it originally was, it all starts from the origin. It originally was a
mm,
hands-on practice
mm,
and it's part of the magic. Um, and it was another thing that was important to me, that this work can be taken
mm,
online or in distance without it dimming it down, without it feeling like I'm getting a
mm,
second rate thing, when actually you can be in the comfort of your own home. You can be in very safe and familiar surroundings, and you can still have the same level of experience that you would have had if you're
mm,
sitting opposite somebody. So I'm super glad that you've
mm. And it's acknowledging that the body is our sacred vessel.
for sure.
You know, that's where all the answers are. And it doesn't matter whether I'm putting my hands on
Mhm.
or I'm facilitating the client to put their hands on themselves.
Yeah,
And I think that's what it's taught me.
amazing. I love that. I foresee, Joe, and I saw this from the very first week, and how you took on Akashic Reiki, and how you took on some of the practices, and how you really brought the embodiment of it like through your body, and you let it speak to you, and you let it move you, and you let yourself come into that acceptance of, of where you are. And I watched it in real time as the weeks go on. And so I know that as one of the first ambassadors of Akashic Reiki, the first practitioners, that you're going to be sharing it far and wide, and it's going to not just help change the lives of your clients and the work that they're doing with you, but also you and how you're approaching the world and your success. And there'd be nothing that delights me more than to really see that and you continue rising.
I'm just so excited because I don't know what the future is going to going to be like. And I will sort of be honest with people. It's not an easy journey. You know, whenever you're doing something new, whenever you're going into the unknown, but you have that sense that it's right, it's still not easy.
No.
You know, especially with the level one.
Yeah.
I went through some horrible days of really questioning myself and doubting myself, and all, those feelings that we don't like, they came to the forefront.
Hmm.
But they came to me so that I could learn about them, understand them, integrate them. And that's, again, another part of the Akashic Reiki, isn't it? But yeah, I'm
Yeah.
really excited. Can't wait to move forwards with it. As I say, logistically at the moment, my head's all over the place. I don't quite know how it's going to happen, but I know it will, and I know that I'm going to be able to, share this work.
Yeah.
Hopefully, as Melissa wants it to be shared.
It's how you're called to share it. And you'll be pleased to know that we do have a bonus session which will really be going into the business and logistics of um part of my responsibility as the creator of Akashic Reiki is really to help my practitioners create it out in the world, because I can only do so much. And it's you and the other 10 of you that are really going to be the ones that perpetuate it across the globe. So the support's there, the website's being built, and I've got some exciting things happening with that. And anyone who joins this next round or whenever it is, you'll have access to that as well. That's something that I'm integrating into the program, because your success is my success is your success, and it's just going to keep. This is all part of the foundations of Akashic Reiki, right? We keep growing and we keep growing together. So before we close, if there's somebody listening here thinking, I wonder if Akashic Reiki is for me, what would you say to them?
I would say listen. If you've if there's any part of you that was thinking, oh, this might be for me, just take that, just take that step. If you want to deepen your work, if you want to help clients go to a different level of growth, then this is for you.
I'm smiling, right? Because I was like, I'm going to pick Joe a card. You can see it in my hand. You can't see what it is yet, right? And what did you just say? If you want to go up a level and you want some growth, is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Right. So I was just like, what's in it for Joe, right? And the card, I kid you not, it says growth and up level. And
There
look,
you
there's like
go.
this blonde lady with the key, like throwing something behind her, going into the out of the cave and, into the big wide world and into this white light of potential and
Mm,
possibility that's there. So this is the card for you, Joe.
thank you.
That this is what's coming. Growth and up level, card 14. So it's a 5. And this is from the Akashic Oracle by Marina Beach. So yeah, may this be your guide. And Joe, thank you so much. If anyone wants to get in touch with you, find out more, work with you, how would they do so?
Oh, well, I've got. Oh, I'm on email. Email's probably the best
Okay. I will pop
way.
your email on here. And
Email or to direct message me on Facebook. I'm on at bmspotential.com. So,
okay.
um, and Joe
Fabulous.
Wilson. If you search Joe Wilson, you'll probably find me as well.
Okay, I have tagged you in the Facebook, and I've put bmspotential.com in there. So if you want to work with Jo, do give her a follow. Her
Or if
mindful.
if anybody's got any questions about Akashic Reiki and whether it's for them, I'm more than happy to speak to people and connect with them.
Thank you so much. So everyone, if you're listening, Jo's on there. I've given her a tag. You can go and give her a follow. If you've got questions about what it's really like to be an Akashic Reiki, thank you, Jo, for that. Yeah, and I've been to your mindful movement sessions and they're amazing. And no doubt they will keep up leveling now that you've got this additional field to place in there. So
Thank you.
thank you so much, Jo. Thank you everyone for watching,
Thank you.
and watch this space. We will be back with another amazing practitioner very shortly. Uh, Bye for now.